Welcome back to another episode of Plants by Jasmine. I'm Jasmine, and if you're new here, this is my journey going from a plant mom to a plant collector. This is where I'm exploring everything from plant aesthetics to plants in general and just learning more about what it means to be a plant collector. In a couple of videos ago, we went to the plant garage and asked questions about greenhouses, and we also collected a couple of plants there, or got a few plants there. So today I just want to talk about the plants that I got because I didn't go over them in the last video at the plant garage. So today we're going to talk about the 3 that I purchased. The first that I want to talk about is the heart-shaped philodendron. I have always wanted one of these. I think that they are so beautiful and just honestly stunning, to be completely honest. Currently it is in my greenhouse. This is not somewhere that it's going to stay, but it is honestly thriving in there. As you can see, there are a ton of new leaves and it just is so beautiful. Right now it's just hanging out in this terracotta pot, but really it's still in its home planter that I got at the plant garage. What I really appreciated about the plant garage is I got a pretty good sized plant for not extremely expensive. Of course, I'm sure that many plant moms or dads and other plant collectors have a ton of these, or maybe it's not something that you're into, but like I said, this is something that I've always wanted, and I thought that it was a great first step, as I know that it's probably a pretty easy plant to keep up with, but still, I'm excited to have it. What I like about the philodendron is that there are so many different kinds, but also this one is just so cute, right? They have these really smooth leaves, and of course they're shaped like hearts, which is nice. What's neat about the philodendron, or the heart-shaped philodendron, is it was actually brought over here, right? So it's native to Central America and like Caribbean type areas. And so I'm excited to see how it does in Colorado specifically. It's a little drier here, but I don't think that it's like so dry that like plants that need more humidity wouldn't be able to handle it. My monsteras are doing fine, so I think that this one will too, especially being in more of a concentrated area like my greenhouse, where there are more plants and more humidity to share between the plants. But I mean, eventually it would be nice to show it off like in the house somewhere. So it definitely caught my eye immediately, and I was like, I have to have this. The next plant that I do want to show off that I got at the plant garage is this cultivar. This philodendron cultivar, which is speculated of where it came from. So it's either a love child of I had to look at this up. So it is either a mutation of the philodendron rojo Congo, which I'm gonna show you off right here because I don't even know what that is. You know, we're learning together here. Or it's a love child of the imperial green and the philodendron Congo. So one of these options, I don't know. This is just what I've been looking up. So it's a little bit speculated of where this plant came from, but it is so beautiful and I love it so very much. It's doing really great in the greenhouse, and the reason why I chose to put it in there is because I don't know what was on the leaf. Something very strange was on the leaf, but I wanted to put it in the greenhouse so that it would get tons of light from the grow lights that I have in the greenhouse, because I want to encourage the variegation in the leaves. And you can see that there are a few starting on some of these newer leaves. They're very small, but you can see that some of the variegation is starting. I know from my time at the plant garage that the philodendron Birkin likes to be relatively dry, but I think that is a little too dry right now. But the good news is that after this video, I will be giving it some love. You can see that since I've got it, there is a leaf that has yellowed, so I'll probably, okay, Okay, well, it decided to come on off. Yeah, so we had a yellow leaf, but it came off, so it's good. But we've also gotten a lot of new growth here, if you can see it. So you can see that this one right here is super new. And then there's also a really tiny baby right in the middle here, if you can see it. I think my biggest concern with this philodendron Birkin is that it is so wobbly. And I know that these plants like to be pretty squished together. They don't like to be moved out of their pot. Like, they want to be constricted because that'll encourage growth. It's like, you know, being wrapped in your cozy blanket. You know, we just like it. It's like a soft cocoon. Kind of a concern that I have. I definitely am going to have to do some research about even how to repot it. Like, I understand that these are probably aerial roots to encourage stability, but they're not even going into the soil. I just have lots of questions still about this plant, and so I will share with you as I learn more. There's also like some weird stuff going on with it. I don't know if it's like got bugs or something, because I don't see any weird bugs. None of my other plants are experiencing that right now, but it's almost like a weird crystallization on some of the stems and the leaves. I don't know. I'll do a little research and let you know below. But that's kind of what I've been experiencing. It's different, but I really do love this plant despite all the weird things that I'm finding from it. So if you know what that is, please let me know. I don't. If you know how to repot these, please let me know. And then also if you know why it's wobbly, also let me know. Third plant that I got is this spike moss, which we also learned at the plant garage looks like a fern and is typically called a fern, but it's actually not a fern. It is a type of moss, specifically a Selaginella. That's right, Selaginella. Which I'm still learning about this kind of plant. I loved it. If you recall from the plant garage video, my eyes like went to it immediately and I was like, tell me about that plant. I love it. I decided to go ahead and pick it up because I just thought it was super cute. I am definitely not someone that loves to interact with my plants like every single day, but this is such a great plant to challenge me on that, because it's not something that I do often and not something that I have done or am very good at. So I have to water it like every 3 days, but it's so cute and you can see that there is lots of new growth on it, if you can tell. So all of the light green, I don't know if this is gonna show it very well, but that's all new growth, which is exciting. There are things that I do question about. You can tell that I forgot to water it for a few days and there's some death going on, but it's doing all right. And overall, like, I really do love this plant. Again, I'm still learning about it. I understand that it typically grows, you know, in like boggy type areas, which makes sense that it needs so much water, and that I'm sure it doesn't love a ton of sunlight. So right now I just have it in my living room on one of my shelves, just hanging out, showing off its cute greenery. I've also heard that it's really good with coverage. So if you have like some landscaping going on and you need something to spread out, this is a great plant for that. When did you get into plants? And then also, like, how did you get into plants? How long have you been doing it? I always think it's such a fun question to ask people. And although I have been successful in having plants for about maybe 5 years, if that, it's always been like pretty easy plants like your monsteras and things like that, which has spurred this journey. But also it had to do with my dad. From the very beginning of my life, we've always been doing something, be it reptiles or raising birds or some type of landscaping or some type of farming, and I've always been surrounded by so many different types of plants. You could see like my dad's tiny house and just seeing all the different kinds of plants that they have, and just their ability to cultivate the area with the plants that they have and the limited lighting that they have, it is so amazing. And my dad inspires me every single day when it comes to these plants. So a little bit of shout out to him and my stepmom because they're so amazing. If you don't know them, they are the ornery one, which you can find their information here. But they are absolutely lovely, and I will always be inspired by my dad and my stepmom with everything they have going on. And when I go to their house, I just have to like sit back and just like hang out in the tiny jungle that they have, because it's just aquariums and fish and plants and just like reptiles, everything that you want, all crammed packed in this tiny house, and it's goals for sure. I also wanted to give you an update. So if you recall from a couple of videos ago, I did a plant cuttings to plant babies, and I wanted to give you a small update regarding that. First is I took some clippings from my pothos and put them in water. It's been about, I would say, I spilled a little water. It's been about a month since that happened. I literally just changed this water and I did not clean the leaves very well. But there are a few interesting things going on here. And first is we've got lots of beautiful roots, which are nice. And that's happening. But if you remember, there was this one, you can see it just floating around in there. There was this one stem that I cut off and I was like, I have no idea what to do with this. It doesn't have a root. I'll put it in some water. Well, it just like fell into the water not that long after putting all of these cuttings in there. And I just kind of was like, it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. But what's funny though is it hasn't necessarily rotted, which I'm thankful for, but it has grown like, not roots, but they look like leaves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but those look like leaves to me underwater, which is so funny to me. Where I did do the cutting, there's also new growth going on, which is super cool. About the string of bananas, which also comes with a story. I just put fresh water in this. It does not look like it. I didn't rinse the bottle very well once I dumped out the old, but we're doing fine. We got a little rot, which is kind of gross, but I mean, the roots are growing. I've noticed that with string of bananas, it takes a long time for roots to grow and to develop, especially in water, but they do really well for me in water. So let me know below if you've had different experiences with the string of bananas and what you've done to propagate them and what works best for you, because water propagation works perfect. I did have a few deaths though. As you can see, there have been a few that just have not survived and are definitely just falling apart and not doing super hot. They did not survive the cuttings or the water at all, but that's okay. I had potted some of the cuttings, and as I left them, I forgot about them. The cats got to them. The string of bananas that were in soil, I just ended up putting them back in water because they were not gonna survive what happened to them. It was not great, I will say, but that's okay. I will also show off all the plant babies at the end of the video, the deaths and the growths that are coming. That is all the updates that I have today. I was like looking around at my string of bananas or my pothos just to see if there was anything to add, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for another really amazing video and joining me on this journey from plant mom to plant collector.